Welcome to the fourth tutorial on Pixel Composer. In this tutorial, we will go through the loop and feedback group. We are on version 1.0.6 as you can see on the top right of the screen. The loop and feedback groups is a special type of group that allow you to create an effect that require a repeated operation. I will import my favorite fruit pixel art from Dante Pixel again. If you want to apply an outline on this image, but you want it to be in layers, in different colors, you can do something like this. Or you can create a loop node, which can be done by right-clicking and then go to node. Then select on loop here. When you click inside the loop node, you will see that it will automatically create two nodes, the input and the output. The properties of the input node are the same as a group input. But one difference you can notice is this special type of junction. And this junction is used to connect value between loops. And in this case, it means that in each iteration or in each loop, an output value is here going to be reused again as an input value here. Now let's change the type into a surface. And as you can see in the 1.0.6, the display type are now being filtered properly. And here we will add outline and set the output into the output node. Now when you go back and when you inspecting the loop node, you will see that it has the property called repeat. And this is the amount of time you want to repeat the node. Now the repeat is 1. So when we drag in the values here, it just loop once. If you change the values, you can see here, it will apply the outline 4 times. So it's equivalent to applying this outline layer 4 times. But the color is the same. But if you want the color in each loop to be different colors, you can do that by using a palette. A palette is an array of colors. So we can define a palette. And then we will use a special node that we call index. This node will output an integer which defines the index of the loop. So in this case, when you run the loop 4 times, it will output 0, 1, 2, and 3. The loop index begins at 0. And the next thing we want is we will use array get. Array get will allow you to get a member in array by giving it an array and the index. So now we can connect loop index to index. We make the color property visible and we send the color values into the color properties. Immediately you will see that each of these iterations, if we choose the color from this palette. Now the next node group is the feedback group. This part of the tutorial is on version 1.0.7 because there is one bug that I just found when making the tutorial and I just fixed it. So when I release this video, this version might not even come out yet. And if you try this on 1.0.6, it might look a little bit different. But the concept is the same. The feedback group is similar to a loop group in a way that it uses the previous output as an input for the next iteration. But instead of looping multiple times in the same frame, the feedback group uses the value from the previous frame as an input of the current frame. For example, if we want to achieve a similar looking effect, then we can do it by adding feedback group in the node and then click feedback. Here, we double click on the group, you will see that it have the similar looking node structure, right? It have the input, output, and it also have this special junction, which say that this output will be reused as an input. But now we can add outline and connect this image into the input. As you can see here, it looks the same. It just apply outline, but when we play the animation, you will see that the outline is now expand. What happened here is that in the first frame, it just apply one outline. In the second frame, it apply the outline on top of the previous frame. And it's just gonna keep expanding until the end of our animation. Now, if you want the outline to have different colors, we have to make the color change over time. We can do the same thing by adding palette. But instead of having the loop index, we will use the frame counter, which is in the animation, then counter. And because the array starts at 0, we want the counter to start at 0. And we can then add array get the same way. Connect the result to the outline colors. Then, when we play the animation, it will now apply different color per frame. One more property in the array get is you can set what happens if the value is overflow or if the value is out of the range of this array. By default, it's set to clamp, so the value will just stick at the highest value. you can send it to loop, which will make the index loop back, or you can send it to ping pong, which will make it kind of like revert back. And that's it for our loop and feedback node groups. In the next tutorial, we will go through a third type of group, which is a VFX group or visual effect group, which will allow you to create a complex particle effect. Thanks for watching. Currently, there are a little bit of discrepancy between these nodes. The output should look the same. I think it's probably some bug that I have to fix in the next version. That's great. The output look a bit different, but that's how the node works, right? It should be fixed in the later version. God damn it.